this whole thing about narrative, I think, is incredibly important in terms of thinking about how we make change. And Professor Rhodes' comments spoke to that very eloquently. A moment about Alden Gresham I just want to reflect on. There was a 24-hour period a couple months ago. I live in a 7500 block of South Aberdeen. There were, in this 24-hour period, news stories about a murder that happened at the end of the block where I live, a murder that happened a block west of that, and another murder that happened 2 blocks north of me. And so within a 24-hour period, I heard all of these references to Alden Gresham, and they were about the worst things that you could want to hear about your community. 3 shootings, 4 homicides, and nothing about all of the things that made me want to return to the community where I grew up. And has kept me there, quite frankly. Very lovely place. So it was great to hear Alden Gresham's reference today. The other thing that's been in the news about Black Chicago, and particularly the South Side, that I think is of great importance for us as we are having this conversation today, and that is we are in crisis. I mean, I guess that's something that we all knew, but I mean, it's a dire time. And the thing that points it out to me is all those stories. I just wrote a couple myself about this, about people leaving the South Side, particularly leaving Black communities. The story of population loss during the first decade of the 21st century here for Chicago was a mixture of people leaving the city. But it has clearly become a story about Black people leaving Black communities. And so as we are talking about changing the narrative, if we are talking about revitalizing these communities, let's understand that we are at a moment where we are losing the battle, and the future of these communities, I think, is in doubt unless we can figure out how to change the script and how to change the outcomes. And so we've got a great panel who actually, I think, already know the answers. They just need the rest of us to pay attention and to follow their advice.